I'm Andy Dion, and you're watching.
Hey now.
Hello.
What's going on, guys?
You didn't shoot the gun, Tony.
I know, that's why I wait for the gun.
Dude.
That's now things are clear.
Sepinine.
What's
Man, oh man, how are you? It's good to see Sandra.
Yeah,
I haven't seen her in a little while personally. I know she's been back a week or so. It's good to see you.
I know. I'm here today, and then I'm gone another 3 Saturdays in a row.
Oh.
Hopefully with no rain.
I hope not. It was a
There
money
you
mess.
go. There you go.
Yeah.
You're here.
It was a money
Last
mess
time.
out of Madison, and you know
That orange and black muscle car you posted though was badass.
the GTO. Yeah,
Oh,
that's a killer car.
Nice. Nice.
I didn't think I'd like the paint job, but the more I looked at it, the more I was like, yeah, this is killer.
yeah, and you could drive it on my favorite holiday, Halloween.
There you go.
Killer.
Perfect.
My
Perfect.
favorite holiday too.
I love Halloween.
Go figure.
It's my favorite holiday.
Yep. I think it's the general consensus.
Yes. Candy is dead thing, so it could be better.
Yeah.
Sandra's channel takes on like a whole new thing in the month of October. It's really cool. It's really cool. Very cool.
Yep.
Yes.
Hey, chat. What's going on, you guys?
Hi, Chad.
Chat.
What's up?
What are we
Hitler?
talking? Pink Floyd today?
Pink Floyd number 60?
What an
Yeah.
epic band, man.
Number 60. Believe it's been that many of these?
That's
Goodness.
awesome.
Yeah.
60.
Quite a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Quite a few.
Both Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
How you
We
doing
are-
down there,
They've
kid?
been around since the 60s. They've been here forever. Yep.
What's that, Tommy?
Anyone in the chat seen them live?
Oh, it's just my LexisNexis contracts and case materials.
Does
Huh?
it read like
What?
stereo instructions?
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
The storage box.
Yeah.
isn't that something?
Nice.
That in.
I made one of those in like junior high school for a whole nother reason. That's awesome.
I made it with my son when he was like 9 or 10 years old.
For baseball cards, right, Charles?
One of my
Exactly.
it's one of my ex-wife's law books. So
Nice.
That's so cool. That is so cool. You know, Floyd, it's so weird. You know, we're talking about a band that spans multiple generations. My older brother, he's 15 years older than me. And so I think, I'm not exactly sure on the day, 64, 65, I think is when Floyd came out.
Yeah.
I didn't even really start getting into them until 73 is when I was like 13 years old. And he gave me 4 or 5 albums in my life. And Gilla, this is what he gives me. He gives me this album by a piano player named Nicky Hopkins. because I played piano at an early age, and he gives it to me. Then he gives me Rio Grande Mud by ZZ Top, Derek and the Dominoes, Layla,
Wow.
the Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd, and it was Aerosmith. I want to say it was Toys in the Attic, but I may have the Aerosmith album wrong. It's just neat that, you know, he's 15 years older than me, but his musical taste came right in me, and it was wonderful. The first, let me see, it was probably the fourth concert I ever saw was The Wall. I saw it with my girlfriend. I saw it at the Sports Arena in Los Angeles. February. It was they only played, if I'm correct, I believe it was 31 shows in the States. They played the first 7 shows at the Sports Arena, and I saw the 7th show on the 13th. It started on the 7th, and it went to the 13th. So I was thinking it was a 6th show, but no, I got the last show in LA. Nice. And I almost didn't even go. My girlfriend got the ticket from her older sister. And so I wasn't even going to go. And it was just a kind of a weird accident, you know? And what a concert. The beginning of the concert, it was kind of weird because I've been listening to them now for a decade, basically. And The Wall was, I would say, the height of their theatrical production. Now, Animals was a pretty big deal. I didn't see that. My brother did. And my only exposure to it was either what I heard on the radio or what I saw in photographs and stories in like Cream and Circus Magazine and Rolling Stone. You know, those were like my 3 links to that band at the time. That was where I got my info. And unless I heard it on television. You know, they were a nationally broadcasted band. If they did a live show in England, and it was for a major event, they were shown in the States on TV, you know.
A lot of concept albums. They did a lot of concept albums.
Yes, they did. And their music really, you know, here's the thing. If you're into hard rock and you like Pink Floyd, you consider them to be a hard rock band. But if you're into something else and you like Pink Floyd, you don't necessarily say they're a hard rock band. They're Pink Floyd. So Pink Floyd is almost a band that spans multiple genres. In fact, they do, not almost anything. They span multiple genres, and they appeal to every kind of person and every kind of musical taste.
Speaking of every kind of person, just take a second to address our wonderful chat. Thanks to all of you that are tuning in. Somebody please read off some names.
Kurt, 5150.
Kurt,
thank you, Nightbot, for coming tonight. I appreciate it. Absolute Mayhem, very, very good outdoor botanist. He is.
Yes.
Starman 45. He does 9-foot tall plants and still growing. Starman 45. Taylor Green. Let's see. Half Ace. Who else?
Half Ace. What's up, bro?
Someone named Fruitcake Tony. Keith H, the Hitman, Dwight Bailey.
Hey, Dwight. Dwight's got a new video, Dwight. I like that video, brother.
Christopher Live Sow. I think I said Keith H. Yes, I did. I mentioned Kurt.
Christopher, how you doing,
Dan of New Jersey. Hello, because you said hi to everyone as well. The original Paramutant was here early, as was Jeff K. Someone named Brendan B. Squared. I know a butt cheeks, but not a Brendan.
Oh, you guys. What's up?
And some weirdo named Ben Tom. You got to kick that guy out.
Tom.
I think that's almost everybody. Oh, British Electric Blues and 5150 show coming in at 8:34.
What's going on, guys? It's good to see you guys.
Yes.
I think that was it. And what else I missed because I can't scroll up any further.
And Jacob Bedingfield just came in.
Yep.
Hey, Jake.
Jake, what's up, bro?
Hey, what's going on, Jake?
Bedinass.
So,
Pink Floyd.
everybody, thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, Charles. I think like you said, Pink Floyd's their own genre. You know,
They are.
they're like a laid back rock. You know,
Yes. Yeah.
they are laid back.
Stoner rock.
Psychedelic rock for me.
Right.
It was referred to by my brother's generation. They were put in with a group of music, and they would call it even acid rock. It's
Yeah.
really what it would
Yep.
have been called. I
It's
would say
funny.
if you were in the 60s.
Yeah,
I think that's the original term, Charles. I
63.
think you're
Yeah.
right.
63, I think
Yeah.
they got started getting
Yeah.
together. I was researching it and looking, and they went through a lot of name changes. It's funny because one of the names, they were Sigma 6, then they were called the Megadeths too.
Oh,
way back-
wow.
I
way
wonder if
back
that's
when.
where Dave got the name for the.
We got to find that out. And then like Screaming Abdabs, Leonard
Oh.
Rogers, but they settled. They went with Pink Floyd because of two blues musicians, that Pink Anderson and Floyd Council. So that's
I'm
what they
actually
said.
putting that in the chat right
Oh, you are okay.
So,
I'm
so
sorry.
Analog Kid, what would you like
I don't
class
know.
them?
You're
Floyd.
absolutely correct.
Was
Like
any
as far
better
as
than the rest?
genre, what would you say?
I
Like,
call
how
them
would you?
prog rock.
I see
Yeah,
that
you
too.
would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
can
they
see
were
that.
one of the leaders of progressive rock from the late '60s to the early mid '70s.
that. Rush.
Very cool.
You know.
Yeah, Brendan, that first reference you made, did you say Cygnus?
No.
Sigma
No,
6.
one of their names.
SIGMA?
Yeah, Sigma 6.
Hi,
I
Janice.
said Cygnus.
No.
Isn't Sigma 6? Isn't that a IT certification, like a Sigma 6 black belt?
Hey, Janice.
That's Six Sigma.
Sounds like a
Six
frat house.
Sigma. There you
place.
go. I knew
It's
that.
Six
familiar.
Sigma. It's like a.
All the guys that work right next to me were like studying and getting that, and I'm like, I'm glad
They're
I'm
like
working
lean,
that part of IT.
lean, black belt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Six Sigma. But that's funny.
I used to work with all these Russian and Ukrainian guys. They're all like, "Oh, we got to take these, take these exams." I'm like, "Oh, good. I don't have to."
Charles, my first experience was Dark Side of the Moon because my mom had that album, and she played it like every day.
Oh
And
yeah.
I was a kid. I was born in '68, so was I 5 or 6? And
Excellent.
and that was the first time I heard bullshit. I'm like, ooh, bad word. I'm like, play it again, mom. Play it again. You know,
My mom played that.
Yeah.
but
My
I heard-
mom only played the Carpenters all day and all night.
Ouch.
I love that album just because
I
of that.
first heard Pink Floyd. It was early high school, and little high school band I was in. We heard Another Brick in the Wall for the first time.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, we're gonna be the next Pink Floyd. I mean, we were
Oh, yeah.
nothing like we sounded horrible. It was nothing, not even close. But yeah.
Excellent.
And then I got to see them live in '94 with a bunch of great people. So very
That's
cool
awesome.
experience. And I got to see them here at Camp Randall Stadium in Madison, Wisconsin. It was the best 3.5 hours in the pouring rain in my life.
Wow.
Wow.
It was
Wow.
magic. It really was.
Hey,
That's-
Janice.
Show ever.
Janice.
Out of all the
That's
bands
cool.
I've seen in my life, hands down, Pink Floyd is still the best show I've ever done.
That's awesome.
So, Sandra, was it like, I know some people see Floyd and they say it's like a spiritual experience for them, like almost like a connecting with like Mother Earth kind of experience, just the whole wall of sound and like,
It was nothing like that for me, but it was just an amazing show. The production
Yeah.
of it, it was incredible.
that's awesome.
The lasers, the pig,
Mhm.
just everything.
Yeah.
Everything is just so cool. You take me off. Thank you.
Now, Charles, when you
really
saw them,
odd.
did they have the screens yet? Did they have like the big walkers or no?
They had, and it's interesting that I was telling you guys earlier, and so I'll just reiterate this again. My daughter Taylor has a boyfriend named Jake. Jake has a friend who was on a production crew in the 2013 wall reproduction with Roger Waters.
Oh, yeah.
He actually has a piece of the wall, and he has the original, I believe it's the original set list.
Wow.
And I wanted, when I heard that, I'm sorry I couldn't get it on the stage for you guys to see it, because I would have made that happen if I could. However, we were talking about, he was explaining to me how his section of the wall was made. I was interested, because to be honest, when I saw it, I was pretty wasted, and I didn't have the greatest attention to the finest detail. You like the way I said that, you guys? Okay.
There you go.
Right on.
The wall sections were about the same. The bricks were about the same size. and they vary slightly, but the material they were made of seems to be different. And so I'm going to investigate it and find out, because the thing about it, you guys, is if you're not familiar, what they do is they build this
Hi,
wall,
Amanda.
and the wall is a metaphor. And you real Floyd heads are into this more than I am, but the wall is a metaphor for the way that Roger Waters felt at the time. He felt that he was enclosed in a wall for various reasons in his life, whether it be from the music company or with his family or whatever. And if you read up on him, the wall it means a lot. It's pretty deep. Okay. So without getting into it too deep, while the show is going on, they're actually building the structure of the wall. And at one point, this wall comes down. And they did, I think 31 is how many shows they actually did in the United States. It started on the 7th of February in 1980 at the Sports Arena in Los Angeles. They played 7 shows, first 7 shows. I caught the 7th show on the 13th. Wow. So like I said earlier, I was fortunate to go. It wasn't even supposed to happen. But that being said, the thing about it, man, so I've been listening to their music albums. It was albums at the time, record albums. And first record album I had was Dark Side of the Moon of theirs. And so you have a preconceived idea of what this band's going to sound like live. And at the time, it's one of the first times I'd heard a band that I thought was going to sound one certain way, and they come in live and they're better than they sound, and they sound the same, but it's live, so it's got a different twist. When this concert started, they play the song In the Flesh. It comes on, and it's a very musical. It's very emotional, and it sets a tone. But the second song is The Thin Ice, and David Gilmour was playing this black Strat, and I'd actually see, I think it just went up for auction. I don't know all the details about it, but I believe it just went for auction. But I believe it's the same black Strat that he played for that concert tour. And when he actually hit that first note on that Strat, it was outstanding. And it was just as hard rock and heavy as anything and I'd seen Thin Lizzy by then. I'd seen UFO by then. I'd seen some hard rock bands, and it was as hard as anything I'd seen, but it was totally different than anything I'd ever seen. But when he delivered that first note off the guitar, and that's a pretty hard ass song when you hear it, and live, it takes on a whole different structure. It takes on a whole different feel. Mm-hmm. And then they go into Another Brick in the Wall, Part 1. And you're just mesmerized. And I was pretty wasted. I was telling you guys before, I was wasted, and I had one of the best damn times of my life. Yeah. And Tina, if you're out there, I love you, sweetheart. Call me. Anyway, yeah.
Okay, so I have just I think Tom wants me to bring this up so we can get through this rather quickly. This week's guitar pick giveaway. How many of you have seen the series Trailer Park Boys?
Love it. Yeah.
Love it, and I'm sure the chat is familiar with. If you're not, it's one of the best. It's probably one of the best shows on Canadian TV. It is hysterical. It is on Netflix.
Bubbles.
Love it.
We are giving away Bubbles and the Shit Rockers. Trailer Park Boys guitar pick. Look at that.
And if you guys don't know, the actor who plays Bubbles is actually a really good guitar player in real life. He's played with Rush even.
Yes.
He's got on stage.
Closer to the heart.
Rush. Yeah.
He's played in the studio. Yeah.
Very cool.
Rob Wells. No.
I love when he did the behind the scenes with Rush. And he was like, Bubbles likes to play the guitar. And he just started shredding.
Anyways, that is this week's guitar pick giveaway in lieu of Pink Floyd. Tony just
I thought TPB
doesn't have
bad.
the heart to part with it. So instead, in lieu of that, we are giving away a Bubbles and the Shit Rockers guitar pick.
Well, that is a unique pick, though. That's cool.
Yeah.
It
Yes,
is.
it is. It's cool as fuck. I want it.
That's great. Excellent.
Yeah.
You know, Pink Floyd got, if you look at some of their albums, they have the album covers. I love the artwork. It's amazing. You know,
Iconic.
like a
It
couple of
is.
them, like, you know,
It
Dark
is.
Side of the Moon. I guess it was a design group called Hypnosis that did a bunch of the album covers, and they did covers
Paul.
for like Black Sabbath, UFO, AC/DC, Scorpions. But yeah, Dark Side of the Moon is cool, and there was another one that I saw that was really kind of cool. A saucer full of secrets.
Hey, Paul. How you
So
doing?
that's a cool
What up,
album
Paul?
cover.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
saw The
there's-
Wall when they re-released it in the movie theater when I lived down in Miami in like, what was that, 95, 96, 97?
Yeah.
It was one of those
Yeah,
years when I was
Mhm.
down there.
Yeah,
That was pretty
yeah.
cool.
You watch The Wall, you see Bob Geldof shave off his eyebrows, and you're like, "Uh-oh, I'm not doing any
All the
drugs."
airplanes and the bomb drop
If you haven't
noises.
seen The Wall, anybody in the chat, I recommend
He's
it.
sitting in that chair, and it's just like,
You got to, at least once in your life, watch The Wall.
I was in a real like interesting mood when I went to see it too, which made it even weirder.
I guess you have to be. If you're
like
not,
I
you
hadn't
will be.
slept for
And Tom, that's a reference to Sid Barrett. That's the character he's playing is Sid Barrett.
All
Oh
right.
yeah. I
Sid
realized
Barrett
that.
had
It
shaved
just
his head and his eyebrows,
Yeah.
and when he showed up at the Wish You Were Here sessions, they didn't know who he was.
right. Well, that's what freaked me out the most.
No, they
because
didn't even recognize him.
They
Yeah.
didn't even know who he was.
the
And they were writing that album about him, which was kind of weird.
yeah. So the friend that I went with, we just
Kinda
kind of both
crazy
looked at each
guy.
other because it was like, I don't know, we'd been up for so long, and it was just this feeling of like seeing the weirdest freaking movie ever when you've just been up way too long. We're like, but I had seen it like on, I guess it would have been VHS or whatever format, or I had seen it before that, but never in the theater. So that was interesting.
That's definitely interesting.
That's cool.
Yes.
That's really cool, man.
That is very cool information that I know I'll get as well. It's just, it when you see that scene, it's just super creepy to me because it's not even the shaving the eyebrows, it's the psychosis,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
Too close to home. Next topic.
So
So,
let's talk about Floyd albums. The ones that I want to talk about affected me this way. Dark Side of the Moon came out in '73.
Yeah.
Wish You Were Here '75. But I got to tell you, I lost him a little bit when Animals came out. There was a couple of songs on the album that I did like that got a lot of airplay, and a lot of, especially in those years. I mean, I was listening to two radio stations primarily, KLOS and KMET, and they would play. They had their favorites they played, and Floyd was huge. But that was kind of the weird era for me. I musically I was going one way, and I kind of fell away from them to a point where I almost would like change the radio station when I heard a couple of songs come on. Probably because they were being played so much, and I was getting sick and tired of hearing them. Maybe, and then they turn around and they come out with The Wall. And they got me right back, and so, but then they followed it up, they did the final cut, and it's just interesting because that was really the end of their basic catalog for my era at that point. Roger, when it had personal things he was going through, and he kind of fell out right then, and he was gone for the better part of a decade, I believe. When they came back, it was wonderful to see them come back. They utilized the same way that Hart utilized the YouTube, internet, MTV, came back, and he sort of re-energized his career to a certain extent. One of the most fantastic bands, careers, with not so much drama that was drawn out. You know what I mean? When I think of Pink Floyd, there's no drama that I really think of. I'm sure they all went through personal stuff like everybody does, but they stayed pretty clean in the media. Their music was absolutely at the top of the game. It was considered, shoot, they played for the Queen of England, you know? So,
how many people synced it up with Wizard of Oz? And did that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool if you haven't done that.
Yeah.
I've done that many times.
Right when the lion roars, you start Dark Side of the Moon. Do it.
What
It's
if they
very
sold?
cool.
I hadn't done that either.
It's very
cool. You got
as soon as the lion roars, at the beginning of
Explain that.
Lion.
well, it's supposed to sync up with like the sentiments of the film and
lines
the songs.
up, like when the registers are going off.
Right.
Like, is it coins or something?
Yeah,
falling
but
on
as soon as the lion roars, like the MGM lion, start Dark Side of the Moon, and then just watch it with the sound off.
But Tony, like, you don't have to understand it more than that. Just start it as soon as the lion roars. Start it. Turn the sound off and just leave the volume of the album up.
It's cool,
and you'll get it. It's self-explanatory.
You'll be like,
oh wow, that really works here. Yeah.
But
and just kick back and enjoy it.
You know, some of the best from my childhood, like when I was probably high school, we would go up to the Griffith Park Observatory in Los Angeles, and they had this thing that they would do inside the observatory called laserium, and one of the first laseriums that they had and a laserium would be a laser light show essentially on the ceiling, and you sit back in a chair and you literally lean back, and the sound is just awesome. And they did, I believe it was Dark Side of the Moon was the first Floyd laserium that I even saw. I did that a couple of times.
Wall too.
Yeah. And I actually ended up going to see Laserium. They did a symphonic rock thing with Kansas and Boston, which was pretty cool. It was just something we did at the time, you know. Hey, there was no internet, there were no cell phones, there was gasoline and there was cars, guys. You know, so you could go places.
Yeah, man.
And pretty.
And there was guys and there was girls.
Yeah.
Parties.
Yeah.
Rock music.
Yeah.
Dogs and cats living together. Oh,
Charles, can we go back to that time? Because I don't like that being on the cusp of the singularity. I'm not enjoying it.
Say that again.
I don't like living on the cusp of the singularity. Can we go back to that time?
That's where you got to get the Back in Time app for your phone.
I've been reading too much Philip K. Dick, so, you know.
Man.
Predicting what's going to happen to us, you know. Love that guy. Anyway. He was into the rock and roll, man. He was into the simpler times.
I'm sorry, Phil. Who Dick? What now?
Philip K. Dick.
Philip K. Dick. That's
the author. No, I'm not making a joke. You know what I'm talking about, right, Charles?
No, we know the.
I'm being very serious, Don.
I'm just 12 years old.
Well, I didn't know if you were teasing or if you seriously didn't know who it was.
Richard, now come on, cut him some slack.
What?
Philip K. Richard.
Stop it. No, I've never read any of this stuff.
There was a guy that sold cars where I grew up, like close to where I grew up, and his name was Dick Richards.
No, come on.
Dude, you got to go by Richard Richards. Yeah. But whenever I see a guy like Bob Roberts or Dick Richards, I call that a double first name.
There you go.
You know?
I don't know.
There was a guy named David Amy. That's it. You know, you hitting both sexes there with a double first name.
That's not bad though. Excellent. Richard with the nickname is Dick.
Yeah.
I don't understand that one.
That's bad.
I just don't.
There's a guy there was a guy that pronounced his name Harold Weiner at my buddy's high school a couple miles away.
Oh no.
Harry Weiner, baby.
Yeah.
And there was a Candace Bar, short nickname Candy Bar. Oh, and there was a Vanessa, and I'm not gonna make up the last. I'm gonna make up the last name rather because I don't know it.
Yeah.
Johnson will use, but her dad was such a Van Halen name that her name was Vanessa, middle name Halen, and then Johnson or whatever. So he called his daughter
Ellie. Look at Jay's kid. You know,
this is, I mean,
IVH.
he named his daughter Van Halen in 1974, 75. So that was not done as much, or maybe it was done more
Hi,
back then.
Ellie.
Hey, Ellie. What's up, Killian?
There was a guy, there was a DJ in my town. His name was Greg Guttine, Guttone or something like that. He named his son Nicholas, and he was a big smoker. Nick Guttine. Nick Guttine. Really?
Oh, no.
Well, you know what's funny? Someone said with my initials being, first and last initials being TH, they said you need to start a channel that's, my two initials channel and just call it THC.
It's meant to be, Tom. It's meant to be.
Well, how do you think my middle name's James? So I'm not going to tell you what my initials are.
My-
I didn't get made fun of at all.
My younger brother's name is James. I like that. My son's middle name is James.
Yeah, but the first name doesn't start with a B.
But listen how messed up I am. My father's name is Thomas. My name is Thomas. My first son's name is Kyan. Middle name Thomas. My second son's first name is Thomas. Middle name James, which is my brother's name. Cover those eyes up.
Wow.
Give a little. When you see reflection in the glasses, it's kind of there. You go.
That's great.
Reflection in the glasses. You can keep it like that, man. The reflection in the glasses is kind of like reverb or delay for your guitar tone.
Amanda's
You
initials.
don't let people
ABC.
see your eyes. It's not as personal.
ABC. Wow.
The fake sunglasses are just a defense mechanism. That's all.
That's okay.
So, Analog Kid, I'm curious because you have really particular, but really, in my opinion, at least, really good and thought out musical taste. I would call it mature, aged musical, like aged wine, kind of. So, what is your favorite era or favorite Pink Floyd, album, or however you want to put it?
They're in my top 5 bands of all time, without a doubt. I'm a Waters guy. I don't give a shit about the Syd Barrett era. Don't care. And the Gilmore era is pretty weak, too. I'm Waters all the way. Metal, Dark Side, Wish You Were Here, Animals, The Wall. Those 5 in a row. Perfect.
Man, your taste comes so close to mine, with the Van Halen, and I'm not bullshitting you. That's pretty much all my favorites.
Those are the ones. And if I had to cut that down to particular favorites, probably Wish You Were Here and Animals, 75 to 77.
Huh.
Yeah.
Those 2 albums are unstoppable. And from metal, I love Echo, the full piece, the 20-minute piece on side 2 of Metal.
Yeah.
That's incredible. But basically, if you want to get into Floyd, if you've never heard them, I say that pocket right there, that's when they did 5 in a row. There isn't a wasted note. It's all killer, no filler. Perfect.
That was their equivalent of Van Halen's 78 to 80. The first
it's like the first 6 Van Halen records.
Never skip.
Trim the fat.
Never skip.
Metal,
skip.
Dark Side, Wish You Were Here, Animals, Wall. That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing after, nothing before.
Yeah.
Welcome to the dark
But
side.
having said that, because I grew up at the time I grew up, I never got to see Roger Waters with Pink Floyd, so I only saw Pink Floyd many times by themselves and Waters many times by himself. I've never seen them actually together.
Me either.
Because the last time that ever happened was when Charles saw them on the Wall.
That's
They
right.
did the final cut, but they didn't tour it.
Yeah.
Many times is how many times you talking?
Floyd, I saw on Momentary Lapse of Reason. I saw it 3 times. Vision Bell, I saw it 3 times. And Waters, I've probably seen 15.
Wow.
That's dedication, brother, right there.
Yeah, I never miss them when they come to town.
See, that's why I definitely wanted to ask.
One of my top 5 bands, and David Gilmour is my favorite guitar player.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Can't go wrong there, man.
Yeah.
Because like Charles, up until that
scoop.
point, I had already seen Tony Iommi. I had already seen Eddie Van Halen. I had already seen Stevie Ray Vaughan. I had already seen Clapton. I had already seen Page. I had already seen Alex Lifeson. I'd seen them all. And then in 87, when I went to New Jersey on Columbus Day weekend and saw David Gilmour, and they opened with Shine On You Crazy Diamond, and he did those opening nights, I was like, I've never seen anybody that good. He's the best.
Is somebody baking something?
Yeah, brownies are done. I have no idea.
Yeah, I know. I heard that. No, it's not here.
I don't believe it came from my end, but anything's possible in this house, guys. I don't know.
Oh, the ding.
Yes, Tom.
Yeah, he blew me away. At the age I was, I had already seen all the greats, and I hadn't seen him yet. And
well, that's great then if someone can do that to you.
It really stuck
after you've seen
ever
all
since.
that.
I was always like, well, who's the best guitar player? Because they're all so different. And I'm like, in my mind, live, Gilmour. Not Gilmour now. Not now. But when I saw him in '87, I hadn't seen anybody that good yet.
Mm-hmm.
He was that good.
How old were you when you saw Stevie?
And I saw Michael Schenker too then. What?
How old were you when you saw Stevie?
Stevie Ray Vaughan?
Yeah.
16.
Wow. You know, that's one of my biggest regrets.
That's like the perfect age to see him because that like imprints in your permanent memory because that's your brain still developing.
That same year.
He was coming through with Double Trouble. I forget the year. It was
I couldn't stand the weather.
Was that the tour you saw?
Yeah, and I saw him play behind his head and behind his back with his teeth. The whole thing. Up until seeing Gilmour, he was my favorite.
I can't imagine that. Dude,
I thought he was the best.
When I watched that live at El Macambo DVD, I'm like, God, what it must have been like to actually like be at the El Macambo when they were filming that. Because I even watched the video of it, and you know, I'm like, God, it's just the energy coming off him. Forget the guitar playing, just the pure energy coming off of him. It's like it's heavy. You can see the people in the front row are kind of like, wow, like taken back.
Yeah, he's really flashy like Eddie was, but Gilmour's no flash at all. It's just very soulful playing, just the notes that he plays. He's very like he doesn't have to play a lot of notes. It's how he plays each one. And people have always said, and it's very true, you can sing his solos. They're almost lyrical vocals, and they're so memorable. And just seeing him live and pulling it off, you know, I knew all the records, but live is always a completely different dimension.
Yeah.
Just hearing him live in an arena, I'd never heard a guitar player that good. I mean, he was just that good.
Well, he spent
I didn't
a lot
go
of
in
time
with that intention. I always thought, oh, I've heard all the best.
Yeah, he spent a lot of time and a lot of work with what's the English guy's name, Pete Cornish, like getting his gear dialed in, not only for recording but for the live, so he could reproduce those guitar tones from the album and do it live. And the rig is like, I think it's called Gilmourish.com, but they go, if you think people go over Eddie Van Halen's rig, look at Dave Gilmour's rig, and they're even more crazy about getting every little thing right. And his rig was huge, like refrigerator racks at that time, but that was the reason he wanted to get the tone of the album, he said, you know.
What was that question you were asking, Charles, before Tom came in backstage about the Big Muff? That sound.
Oh no, back actually Tom wasn't there, and I was gonna ask Tom that question. I had a friend, his name is Johnny, and Johnny, you're out there, I love you, man. And he would try to imitate David Gilmour's sound, and he had a Strat, and he had a Fender stack. I forget the name of the stack, but he had a Big Muff, and it had been modified. And I don't know. You're the tech guy.
I know he had a muff and he had a delay.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm talking about to get that exact tone.
But there was some kind of thing with an EQ that he did too. But I don't know.
Yeah, and so, but it was a modified Big Muff that he had, and he had told me that was how he got that sound. And so I didn't know if it was to believe it or not, but he came really, really, really close.
Yeah,
with the effects he had, and that was his primary effect, overdriven fuzz.
You got to crank it up too. You got to dial it. You know?
But it was clean. I'm not talking about. It was a modified pedal, so I don't know. You know,
if you roll a fuzz even down to like 6 or 7, and if it's a really good fuzz, sometimes even on 8, you only have to roll it down to 8 on a really good fuzz. It's cleaner than you can imagine. Like a lot of the clean Hendrix tones are an amp on 10 and a fuzz on 10, but his volume is down like halfway.
Okay.
Because it does this glassy thing, because when you turn down,
Yeah.
highs you lose on it. It just has the way it interacts. I don't know the fuzz. I don't have enough electronics experience to explain it correctly, but basically somehow the fuzz
I'm gonna
interacts
grab a
with
drink.
the
I'll be
circuit
right
of
back.
the guitar,
Tony.
circuit, the pickup in the guitar, and it gives you this different kind of clean that you can't get the volume the whole way up and the fuzz off. And then you just can roll your volume back up, and that's what Hendrix is a lot of the time, was just that fuzz on, but the volume was down. If you think of like castles made of sand, it's a real, I hate to use words like that, but it's a real glassy sounding.
Yes.
Like
that's a classic tone.
You know what I mean?
Classic tone.
Yeah.
Who did I hear talking about that tone? Oh, I know. It was David Nesdall and Ty Price and Ben Coombs.
Yeah.
It was about a year ago. No, it was about 6 months ago, I guess it was. And they were talking about that tone, and they described it just like you did just then.
Yeah,
so.
it's a great sound.
Yeah. Hey, a shout out to Nez Says. I caught a show a couple of nights ago, and he had one of his friends, Anthony Steele, who was from a band called the Black Sheep. They used to play the LA club scene back in the late 70s, early 80s, actually through most of the 80s. And he quit around 90, but they opened for the Crew a couple of dates in the 80s. And I remembered him, and he was talking, and I was like, I was having a flashback, and I could see them on stage. It was the weirdest thing. I haven't had that happen to me in quite a while. And I just share it with you guys. It was really cool. I remembered him because it's interesting. There were only two bands in 1980 and 81 who had a black front person in them when I was there. One was Roach and the White Boys.
Okay.
They opened for like the Bus Boys. They did a couple. I saw them 4 or 5 times when I was there. Fantastic band. Roach is a black girl, and so it wasn't them. And then Anthony's talking, and he goes, yeah, and we're a 3-piece power trio, and we had a black front man, bass player. And the minute he said that, I remembered him, because they're the only ones. They're the only band that fit that description, and they opened for the Crew. And so I remembered him. It's just like bam, like that. And so I started to flash back into the whole show. I remember things, conversations with that guy, conversations with their bass player and drummer, and I can't wait to get that man's ear. So anyway, I just thought I'd share it with you guys. It was really fun and cool. And, one of the best chat videos I've seen in a while. Away from this channel. Yeah, so very cool.
When you first said that, when you said like rock or metal, and you said singer that was a black guy, I was thinking King's X.
Yeah, well, they didn't play the Whiskey in 80 and 81, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was just weird the way he unfolded it. And the minute he said we opened for Motley Crue, a light bulb went off in my head, and I saw them on stage. I saw a picture in the back of my mind of that band on stage, man. It was trippy. It was trippy.
Tony, put it closer to your face.
Closer to your face.
How about now?
That's perfect.
Nice.
Show us your new stuff.
Yeah, what you got?
Where is it?
Closer to your face. What you got, Tony? What you get in the mail, Tony? I know you got stuff.
What you got, man?
I got nothing.
Oh, come on.
Who'd you put in the mail?
You don't? Okay.
No, I'm always.
We usually do that like at the beginning of the show.
I know, but we were talking. So.
Really? You don't have anything?
What's in the box?
Oh yeah. Hang on. I gotta go.
WTF, Tony?
Hang on now.
What's in the box? What's up, Pitch Heyman?
Hey, Mitch, what's going on, brother?
Look at the pickup in the corner. Trailer Park Boys. That is the giveaway pick, boys and girls. Bubbles and the shit rockers. Fucking right it is.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I love it. I love it.
All right. So
Yes.
We're gonna put that one aside. All right, new shit.
News.
Oh, dude.
Thin Lizzy.
There you go. That's the other band.
That's
Yep.
cool. That is cool.
Nice.
Bands are back. I always feel like I want to play Thin Lizzy riffs if I plug into like an old Marshall, like a 70s kind of Marshall, you know, where it's not super high gain, but it's, you know.
Have I shown you guys these warrant picks?
Nope.
I haven't seen
Thin Lizzy.
I
No, I
love
haven't seen this. It's cool.
You hadn't seen that one?
No, sir. I can't see anything right now.
Whoa. That's cool, man. Wow. That's a great pick, Tony.
Very cool.
Roll Halls.
That's
cool.
great. Oh, man. Very cool.
Oh my gosh, it's see-through.
Hang on, let me scoop these up.
Never a scoop.
Never a scoop.
Never a scoop.
You said it.
Troy it.
You said it.
Troy me.
All right.
That was a good show. I started to watch the first like couple minutes of it earlier today with Simon Hosford.
Yeah.
I caught a good chunk of it.
He's a sharp dude, man.
Very cool, man. Very cool.
Super nice guy too. Man, he's played.
Hi, Mitch.
There's videos of him just jamming backstage with Tommy Emmanuel. Like that blows my mind.
Yeah.
Man, anyone can keep up with Tommy Emmanuel. That impresses me.
That's crazy good.
That's not an easy feat to do, you know. Yeah, they weren't playing a slow song, Charles. The real fast acoustic thing, you know.
Oh yeah.
So if you just put their two names and put Simon Hosford, Tommy Emmanuel in, and it'll just come up online. I was like, damn.
He's such a nice guy. Simon's really.
Oh, he seems so nice.
I'm still playing catch up on that. I'm about halfway through.
Yeah, I'm like 10 minutes in or something, but I want to watch it. Yeah.
Let's give away a pick, man.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, check that out. Man, Chuck, check it out. That's a great pick. I've never seen that.
Is it a Chuck Berry? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're very rare.
Cool.
Very cool. I got a
so
sneak peek at it earlier, and I was like, no fucking way. I even asked him if it was that particular pick, and he said, yeah. I said, yeah.
Was the King Bee Social Club the one you had to take a specific type of Polaroid photo with the gentleman to get in the club, or was that just something else? Do you know the whole story about him?
No.
I've heard fragments of it. I don't think I've heard the whole thing.
Any women that he spent an evening with, shall we say, he made them take a nude photograph with him, and he was fully clothed, just in case they ever try to jam him up the cops and say, well, why did you get a photograph with the defendant and he's fully clothed and you're standing there fully nude? So he did it as like an old school defense policy, so he wouldn't get
like an insurance
money.
policy.
Insurance policy back in the day. And so apparently when they were cleaning out like these lockers, he had just shoe boxes full of Polaroids.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
My goodness.
I love hearing stories about Chuck Berry. I love hearing most of the stories about Chuck Berry. Some I don't really care for. But
apparently Chuck Berry was like the worst to work with and work for.
Somebody told me
intolerable, like just impossible to work with. Like,
somebody told me a story. I think it was God, who told me this story? He showed up at a club in LA. Oh, I wish I could remember this. He showed up at a club in LA, and this was in he was getting up in age, but it was around the time I was in the clubs in LA. He was still alive. He was old. But he showed up. They had to provide an amp. A specific amp. I forget. It was a Fender Twin Reverb Super Twin. Was that what it was? It was like his signature amp that he wanted.
Okay.
He had his guitar. and he'd open the case up, and they'd have to pay him before he went on stage. And that was like his MO, something he'd been doing for years and years. He never changed it. He got paid cash, and he had a loaded 38 in the guitar case. And he was old when he did this. I heard a story about that when he was young. Did the same thing.
Did you hear about putting the hand out and saying, "I'm not going on stage"? And he would just sit there and not say anything.
Yeah.
And just keep pointing. And literally, if in his prime, if they had to pay him like, let's say 5 or 10 grand, literally like a stack of $100 bills they're counting out in his hand. He's like, okay, all right, cool. Puts in the guitar case. All right, and then he would go play the gig.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. So did you witness that there?
No, I heard the story.
Okay.
I heard it
That's hilarious.
I'm trying to remember who told me, but it was
I've heard it from a few different people who had been around him.
I think it was Bill Gazzari at Gazzari's.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I believe it's Bill. I was fortunate enough to get to spend a little time with Bill Gazzari.
Cool.
He wasn't like Mario. He was a completely different character, but they were very similar. And
from a friend who heard it from a friend who was messing around.
Bill would pay girls just to be beautiful and hang around him. He was a character. He was so cool. And I don't mean to make light of him. He was he told stories. He was the godfather of rock and roll, if you asked him on the Sunset Strip.
If you asked him.
He was wonderful.
Only if you asked him.
He was, hey, you know who he gave a start to? Warrant. Okay. He made Warrant famous. Gazzari's was Warrant's club. Okay. Like the whiskey was Motley Crue's. You want to see Janie, you find him, you go to Gazzari's, you find those guys. That's straight up story. And he was a really nice guy. He was a really good guy, and he's a character. And he's missed. He's very missed. He's been gone for several years. Rest in peace, Bill Gazzari.
Give it away now.
I spent many a night in Gazzari's in my youth. What a dump. Anybody who's been there knows one of the greatest places in the world, and just horrible at the same time. It was just wonderful. I wouldn't change a thing. What you got, Tony?
Trailer Park Boys, give it away
That's
now.
Awesome.
All right.
The Trailer Park Boys.
Here we go, boys and girls.
Yes.
Pay attention.
Good luck, you guys.
Pay attention.
Okay. We doing this now?
Yes, let's do it.
Hint, TK. Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right, hang on. All right.
Hang on.
So,
I have no idea what the question is.
I seen it.
all right. It's going to be an easy question. A very easy. Pink Floyd. Very easy question.
We all know it. Charles knows
You didn't see it,
Analog
Sandra?
knows it.
No.
No, I hadn't seen it either. When I jumped in, you probably already shown, so I have no idea.
Yeah, but you'll know it.
Yeah. Oh, can I play? No, I can't play. Can I?
No.
Yeah. It's
No,
all
you
good.
can't play anymore. No.
It's all good.
All right.
Nope.
All right.
So we
All right.
are. All right. We're gonna have some fun here.
Ta-da.
All
Oh.
right.
Charge.
Charge it.
We are gonna have some fun.
That is such a unique pick, Tony. It really is.
It's a fun one.
It is.
So we talked about which pick we were going to give away this week, and she was like, "Give that one away." I was like, "Okay."
Very.
All right, but this is going to be a Pink Floyd question. So
Yes.
everybody in the chat, get ready to type. It's a very easy one too. So,
Get on your thinking caps.
yeah.
Yep.
All right. ready?
Ready.
Is
Are we ready?
Yep.
All right. This question is so easy. Get ready to type, chat, really. Seriously. All right. So here we go. If you're the winner, email me your address. There's an email address down below, and I'll mail you this Trailer Park Boys guitar pick
Good
out
luck, guys.
on Monday morning. Right, Sandra?
Yes.
Thank you.
Monday morning, 7
All right.
a.m.
All right. So,
Something like that.
very easy question. All right, chat. Give it to me now. Here we go. Dark Side of the Moon was released in what year?
There should be a ravenous pack of dogs typing right now.
Oh,
Oh,
gosh.
oh,
Come
this is
on,
yours coming
kids.
Get over there.
They're coming in. They're coming in.
I'm tangled.
There it is.
Spencer Cron.
I see
There
it.
it is.
73.
Yep.
Spencer.
Spencer, very cool, man. Very
Very
cool.
nice.
Congrats, bro.
Right behind
Yeah.
him, Jake Bedingfield.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool, Jake.
All
Very
right.
cool, man.
Yep.
Very nice.
Very
So,
cool.
Nicely done.
all right.
All right.
Spencer, email me your address. I'll mail you this out on Monday morning.
Very cool.
Spencer, thanks for being here. Thanks
You rock,
to
Spencer. Very cool, man.
everybody
Yeah.
for being here.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
So,
All
something else that's weird that I found out about Pink Floyd. They were huge Monty Python fans and actually financed part of the
Well-
Holy Grail movie.
I love that movie. That's a funny movie.
They financed a lot of it. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. That's a great movie.
That's a great fact, man.
Cheesecake's gonna yell at me. Okay, I'm back.
Why?
Because he
What'd
says,
you do?
"Watch the show on your screen. Put him over here on the chat."
Dario.
That's a nice Diodero pick.
I just noticed that's got six.
Nice.
Very nice.
6 strings.
Yeah, dude.
That's us and them, dude.
Yes, but you can't have these picks, kids. These are Tea Cake's picks. They're going back in the vault after this.
Oh, check that out, man.
They really are.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they are.
It's badass.
Yeah. They also have. They're also the second
Man.
band to be on UK postage stamps. Charles, another fun
Really?
fact. Yeah,
Wow.
the Beatles were the first, and Pink Floyd was the second.
Did I get my fact right on that? I seem to understand. Is it they have sold over 250 million
Oh, wow.
albums,
Possibly. I haven't looked.
and all I think all five. No, I'm sorry. The last three. I'm not going to say this correctly. Either the first three or the last three of the last five albums they had. No, I'm not going to get the facts straight, so I don't want to say it. I'll say it all wrong, guys.
But you're
They're,
right though. They more than 250 million.
Yeah, but the three albums went more than platinum. It went like triple platinum or something like that. Some of the largest some of the top 5 largest selling albums of all time.
Well, Dark Side, it's definitely one of them.
Well, Dark
I'm thinking it was Analog. You would know that.
Wish You Were Here, Dark Side, and The Wall.
Yeah.
And Dark Side was on the Billboard charts for 14 years.
Yes.
Yeah, the longest run in history.
Yep.
Yeah. That band has got some accolades that are just
They
incredible.
sure do. You know. They sure do.
And their music's pretty timeless. It's still popular today.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Kids are
They'll
still
be
kids are
playing
still
Pink
buying
Floyd
it.
100 years from now.
My
Yeah,
son,
when you
who
go to
my
Roger
son,
Waters
Floyd,
shows, there's still
definitely.
kids going.
my son, who's 19, who basically listens to rap right now. He knows Pink Floyd. You know,
There you go.
it comes on the radio. He's like,
Oh, here
I know
comes the
that.
thumbnail.
Thumbing it.
I'm actually in one. What do you know? Poor Brendan.
I'm good.
What do you think? No.
Hey, that was upside down.
Closer to your face.
Put it closer to your face.
Sorry.
Like Little Rascals, freaking Spanky, telling those stories. He opened up his mouth and he didn't have any face.
It's been years since I've seen any of those.
Oh
Brennan.
man, I love those.
It's been a long time.
Freaking stymie. Ham and eggs can't talk. They're saying
you
hello
go.
to my stomach right now.
There's the thumbnail right there.
I see it. I can see it.
Very nice.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Kevin.
There he is. Tea cake.
Okay.
Tea cake.
All right. Is it
Jake
over? Can I go
Benderfields
now?
wants us to do a Thin Lizzy show. Maybe.
Oh, that would be great. That would be great.
Maybe.
We
might.
Yeah.
We'll put that in the bin. Big bin.
That'll happen.
Yep.
I would enjoy
Yeah.
the show. That would be a good
Thin
show.
Lizzy. I've got enough Thin Lizzy
It'll
picks
come up
to
in a-
do
it'll
a
come up in a meeting.
show. Yeah.
We will never be doing a Thin Lizzy guy on the show, but we can do a show on a Thin Lizzy band.
There you go. There you go.
Right?
We can do that, man.
Telling how you put the words together.
Yes.
But a Thin Lizzy show would be cool, I think.
I agree.
It'll happen. It'll happen.
How's that tattoo doing, Tony?
It's
Nice
doing
and bright.
good.
Nice and bright.
Shiny.
Nice and bright.
There it is. Look at that. Yep.
I'm getting some ink, you guys. I said it a couple of weeks ago. I'm
What you
getting
getting?
a head tattoo. It's
What are you
happening
getting?
here very soon.
What you getting?
There.
Uh-huh.
It's happening.
What you gonna get? You
I
can tell us
can't
what
wait.
it is.
I'm getting the War Pig with Motorhead, classic Motorhead tattoo.
Oh yeah. I think you did mention that a while back. Nice.
Mhm. Yeah.
Are you, Charles? Really?
I am doing it.
The Motorhead. Nice.
Well, Motorhead is my favorite band. They are the single pinnacle I Ching of every band that I listen to. It all started with Motorhead, you guys, as far as with me.
Yeah.
And they left a big impression. I didn't get to interact with Lemmy nearly as much as I wanted to because in the early 80s, he was still touring wide open, and his seat at the Rainbow Club wasn't filled nearly as much with him as it was in latter years, like 95 and beyond. So, even in 90. But I can remember Lita Ford being at the Whiskey and her standing there in the doorway and her not telling me, but she'd look over like at Tommy or somebody, and she'd say, I got to run up and give Mario a hug and then go give Lemmy a kiss and say goodnight. And she did that often. So, Motorhead holds a dear place in my heart. And,
Very cool.
Let me mention some current
now.
news. Let me mention some current news that
Yes.
we'll probably talk on the Van Halen show tomorrow. But
Yes.
What's up, Jay?
it is still kind of weird that somebody in the Mammoth Wolfgang crew has COVID, and so they had to cancel a couple of shows they felt. So the next show on the calendar is Wednesday in Hollywood at the Whiskey.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
um,
Neil's going to be at that show,
yeah,
and I'm anticipating some really cool insider stuff from
yeah.
him. You know, George
Neil
Lynch.
will be
George
there.
Lynch also canceled a couple of shows.
Hmm.
I don't know the details on that, but I just heard the little bleep about it.
Nerd Halen will
Speed
be
whacking.
there.
And Skinner.
Yeah,
He's going. Yeah.
that is so cool.
Jay, if
So-
you missed it earlier, your kids got their shout outs.
Yeah, we said hi to Ellie and Kelly.
Hey, Ellie.
Hey, Ellie
Hi, Ellie.
and Killian.
Hi, Kelly. Have a good time at school, Ellie.
Jay, nice to see you, dude.
Good to see you, Jay.
Go buy your Gizmochi albums. The CDs are out. Go buy them.
Yes, they are. They make really great gifts. I've got kids.
I want mine
I've got
signed.
kids. I'm about to hook
Yeah.
a couple of my kids up with some Gizmochi stuff.
Yeah, I got me.
Yeah.
I bought me a signed album yesterday.
Jay
Yeah,
said they're
yeah.
sleeping.
I
I remember when my kids were
I've
little.
got to have a signed copy though.
Oh yeah, man.
I've got to have that.
Oh
Jay,
yeah.
Jay,
Yeah.
put
But
that link in there.
I would
I forgot what it is.
actually, I hate to put a lot of stress on Jay, but I've got a couple of son-in-laws who actually like Gizmochi too. I want to gift them a couple of copies, but if that could be signed, that'd be really cool. We'll see.
You can buy some signed copies. Maybe Jay will put the link in there.
Hey, I'm
Yeah.
glad the albums are ready and they're ready for sale and this, that, and the other thing out to the public. That's awesome.
Yep.
Great band, man. Great band.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes.
I
So
will
Tony, how many
definitely-
shows did they have to cancel? Did Wolf cancel?
Just two.
Just two? Okay.
Just two so far, and it's not like it's nationwide or
Right.
all concerts or anything. This is just somebody in their camp,
Yeah.
and it caused a whole lot of quarantine, and two shows had to be scratched.
Yeah.
So
Well, at least they figured it out quick to minimize the.
yeah, Wednesday is just a couple days. So yeah.
Okay. That's not too bad.
Yeah, I know, but
Scary times out there, but you know.
I'm expecting at least a mask mandate when we see them.
Yeah.
I mean, that,
Possible.
I'm expecting that.
Okay.
Yeah. We're keeping Tom up. We're keeping Tom
Oh,
awake.
it's been a long day. Long day.
At least it's not 40 hours, and you can watch The Wall. So,
I know.
right?
I'm going to bed soon.
I am liking that beard, though.
Oh,
You got to keep that going, and then
I don't
put some
know, man.
powder on it and be Santa Claus.
It's getting itchy.
Nah,
yeah.
Do you do the whole essential oils thing?
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
I
have beard
I
oil.
don't do anything that I wouldn't normally do anyway.
I have good beard oil and a beard balm. Yes, I let it grow long like I did last time.
There you go.
Get the ZZ Top thing going. But
Excellent, man.
all right, you can take me off now.
Dun,
Thank you.
Dun, 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 dun.
Let's go.
What?
All right.
What'd you say?
I said I want to go now.
Oh, I think Sandra wants to go.
Let
All
me leave.
What's this button do? I got to work tomorrow, actually.
Do you really?
Unfortunately.
Damn.
Yeah, it's been crazy. Work's
Do
been
you
a
get
little
like
bit
triple
crazy.
pay then? Triple time?
No, I don't get any extra pays. I'm salary.
Celery.
Jesus.
You gotta take the
You
good with
get-
the bad, brother.
Yeah, man.
You
I'm not complaining.
You get an
Big see
attaboy.
North Carolina, you guys. 102 was a high yesterday for me, and
Yeah.
4 copperheads by noon.
Ooh.
4. We had seen 4.
Yeah, they scare me.
What the heck? It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
No copperheads allowed.
Never a copperhead. Never a copperhead.
Never a copperhead.
Never.
All right, kids.
Hit that
Guys,
like
good
button.
seeing you guys in the chat.
Snake.
We are gonna shove off. Come back tomorrow night, you Van Halen fans. We're gonna talk about the Hot for Teacher
It's
video.
gonna be so good, you guys.
Yeah,
Big show.
with a big special guest. Oh yeah. So, and there's the card for that right there.
Yeah.
10 p.m. tomorrow Eastern. Yeah. And
Good night, Jay.
Good night, you guys.
everybody,
Bye.
we'll see you right back
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Take care.
Can't find my stuff.
Out. Good to see
Any
everybody.
last words there, Charles?
Justice
You guys just
today.
be cool. Take care. We love you guys. We'll see y'all later. Rock on. Be good.
I want a lollipop, Tom.